Hello, everybody. It's 11:10, and this is the AgYield War Room. Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating this session. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area, and we'll be sure to get to it during the show. USDA just released their updated report. Really not much in the way of fresh news here. We've got corn at 1.999 billion bushels on the carryout, soybeans unchanged at 550. Wheat came back at 812, which was a little bit lower than September. On the yield side, corn yield raised 0.2 to 183.8, and the soybean yield down 0.1 at 53.1. Not really much else to say there, guys. I guess we'll get a couple of thoughts, Justin. But pretty disappointing just to not see any new data here on this report.
Yeah, I kind of viewed it as a lazy report. They really didn't change anything. It looks, I mean, I've had a chance to go through everything yet, but looks like they kind of, move some states up a bushel or two, some states down to keep the yield closely unchanged. It's just unexciting, for an October report. It's kind of a non-event, so I guess it depends if, if you were hoping they thought you'd see a big yield cut, obviously it's disappointing in that regard, and vice versa if you thought they were going to raise it. So just kind of equally disappointing across the board, I guess would be my first reaction.
Yeah. Ben, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, not a big move one way or the other. I think there's probably been a lot of people in here trying to own soybeans, expecting a little larger reduction than what they saw on bean yield. So see how they hang in there as we approach some pretty big technical levels. We got the 50-day moving average not too far away in beans, and we'll see if they want to go and push into those and see if anyone really wants to play. The 50-day comes in at 10.10, right where we stopped on the break. Well, it's up to 10.10 3/4. So I would think that there's a fair amount of people in the consolidation of the last 4 or 5 trading days that we got down here that may have their back up against the wall, would be my first thought. And heading into a big harvest weekend for corn, we see on these reports that we're using corn, which is very encouraging. But we're about to have a full restocking here going on in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So,
Dustin, any thoughts here as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, one thing I think last time didn't look like that. Something that I would have guessed was Indiana was at 210, and 7 bushels above last year's all-time record. They took that back to 202 today, so that kind of makes a little sense. But like Justin said, they kind of raised some other states that didn't. I don't know if that's exactly what we've heard anecdotally. Looking out forward, we've kind of just gotten past this report, and this is highly survey based. The next couple of reports are still going to be watched closely. Still a lot to figure out about the crop size. Looking at the world numbers, they're going to finish off Brazil at 122 million metric tons. That's kind of refuted by CONAB. You just think this is still always a reminder to us too. They do publish a world carryout minus China, and they're still holding on to vast majority of stocks for both corn and wheat. That's the one thing I'd say is if like in the next couple of reports, we find out that in addition to seeing our reduction in stocks carried in from last year, only 1.76 billion corn, that's our first published number below 2 billion again. We're at 1.999 billion bushels. If for some reason some of these final yields finish out rather poor from that phantom yield loss, and we kind of trend down towards the lower 180s, maybe a 181 or 182, there's still an underlying sense of global tightness if we cannot see Brazil come through with another massive corn crop. So I think your harvest pressure, like we said this morning, is still probably the main thing that I'd be worried about and focused on, especially with the expiration of insurance this month. After we get through that gut slot of harvest, though, and get through that roll period, I think we still have to kind of shine that spotlight on global stocks and wonder, When you take China out of the equation, what are we going to end up with in the next year, especially if prices stay kind of low and there's not that incentive to plant corn? So I can see why corn is unchanged after the report, I guess, following this. So
looks like they did lower world corn carry a little bit, maybe. I don't know what that's attributed to. Looks like they lowered Ukrainian corn output.
Yeah. So
too.
Right. Yeah. Global or U.S. Global corn carryout was lowered from 308.35 to 306.52. But if you take world less China, it's still listed at 97. So it's mostly, I think it's all on the Chinese numbers because that didn't change from the prior number. So 97, that's 97 ending stocks out of global domestic usage of 910. That's substantial.
Any other thoughts or comments, guys, here as we wrap up the week?
Nope.
All right. Looks good. We'll do one quick rundown here of the markets. We got December corn down 1.5 pennies right now. 417 is the last. November soybeans are down 5 at 10.09 3/4. And December Chicago wheat is down 9.5 at 594 1/4. We appreciate everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like or subscribe. It'll keep you up to speed on everything AgYield, these bonus war room sessions that we have, post reports. So once again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. We are streaming live every day that the markets are open at 8:15 Central Time on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. Hope everybody has a safe harvest here this weekend. Keeps rolling. We hope everybody is going to have a great weekend. We look forward to talking to you again on Monday.
The War Room is proudly presented by AgYield. For over 50 years, the AgYield team has provided grain marketing and risk management solutions for growers across the country. Our veteran consultants harness cutting-edge technologies to pinpoint risk, optimize market performance, and protect your farm's profitability. Discover a new approach to farm revenue management at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.